Good morning. It's Tuesday the 26th of August 2025 and I'm still in the Mendip Hills. I'm actually starting today's walk from exactly the same spot that I started yesterday's walk. So I'm here on Bleadon Hill again. But there's a notice back there, I'll just go and have a look at it. Mendip Hills National Landscape. A landscape ready for life. The Mendip Hills is a surprising and distinctive landscape south of Bristol and rising above the Somerset levels. It's full of adventure and atmosphere for you to experience. Yeah, so the Mendip Hills then, it starts at Uphill just above Weston-super-Mare to the west and then stretches right across sort of eastwards to the town of Frome. However, the National Landscape only covers part of that area. So it covers the area where I am now on Bleadon Hill, and it sort of covers all the area just south of the Chew Valley and part of the Chew Valley, and then it goes just above the city of Wells. But the area east of Wells, going on towards Frome, that part of the Mendips doesn't fall within the National Landscape boundary. Okay, well let's get on with today's walk then. I'm excited already. So I came this way yesterday when I did yesterday's walk, but when I was here yesterday, I was with Darren, who's got his wonderful YouTube channel called Somerset Man Walking. And if you're watching this, Darren, you were brilliant company. I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me on yesterday's walk, and I hope it's not too long before we do a walk together again. So good stuff, Darren. Okay, but rather than doing the exact walk that I did yesterday, in a minute I'm going to be turning right to go to a different part of Bleadon Hill today. Right, so yesterday Darren and I went down that way and we followed that track down to the village of Criston. And then when we were finishing the walk, we came this way as we came up the West Mendip way from the village of Loxton. So I'm just going to follow the West Mendip way back this way for a short distance, but I'll be turning off right in a minute. I've just been overtaken by a young lass riding a horse. It looks like I'm going to be overtaken by a cyclist now, so I'll just keep going. So this is where I turn right now, so I'm leaving the West Mendip way now. As I head this way, I'm sort of heading in like a southerly sort of southwest direction really. Okay, on we go then. My first gate of the day. Here we go then. So it looks like I'm leaving the track and I'm heading across the fields in more open country now. Lovely. So I should get some views soon, all being well. Beyond this field, the views were waiting for me. No words were needed. So this hill on which I'm skirting the slopes of now is Shiplate Slait. And in the distance, I've got a wonderfully clear view of Brent Knoll. So I can see Brent Knoll straight ahead of me, and then beyond it, even though it's a bit murky, I can see the Quantock Hills, and then I can also see Hinkley Point Power Station. That stands out like a sore thumb, and you can just see part of the Bristol Channel too. Wonderful. The bridleway emerged onto a private lane, where my way was to continue straight on downwards. Wow, this is lovely, really lovely. Yeah. Well, the trees are in the way now, but yeah, so Bleadon Hill anyway is just all the way along there, so yeah, fantastic. I know I've said this before, but years ago when I was living in Western-super-Mare in the late 1990s, and even when I was living in Bristol, although I used to drive down to the Mendip Hills a lot, I didn't do many walks really, and today's walk isn't a walk I've done before. Yeah, I've said this before, it's criminal really. It takes you sort of like 20 to 30 years after you've left an area to return and finally do a walk in the area that you lived in before. It's bizarre really, but there you go. Whoop! Okay, should nearly be at the bottom now then. Where the lane ended at the bottom of the hill, I crossed the road near Shiplate Manor Farm, following the footpath opposite along the edge of the field. Just before reaching the River Axe, the path curved to the right as I headed west through more fields. I'm encountering a lot of gates now on the walk. Okay. Right, there we go. Oh, I can see another gate just on the other side of this field. Just going back to my walk with Darren yesterday, it was wonderful because, bearing in mind that we're both YouTubers, or I still like to call us filmmakers really, because rather than calling myself a YouTuber, I like to call myself a filmmaker, because as I say, I was filmmaking long before YouTube was around. Anyway, when one filmmaker meets another one, you automatically start comparing notes. It was great. So me and Darren were both telling each other how we both make our films. Excuse me, I'm starting to weep again. Flipping hay fever. And what really impressed me about Darren was, although we both were very similar in the way we were filming our walk yesterday, it's the post-production where we vary. Darren had edited his film and posted it on YouTube before the end of yesterday. It was amazing. So bearing in mind we only did our walk yesterday, that film was edited and live on YouTube before the end of the day. Really impressive. But Darren was saying that he shoots all the footage and he's almost like editing it as he goes along, and then he does further editing on his phone. I think he said he uses the DJI Mimo app. I mean, I've never done editing on my phone. I've always liked to do editing the way I've done it, which is on my computer. But I mean, I said to Darren, I said, well, I'm afraid this video won't be available before the end of today, I said I won't be able to start work on the editing until I'm back home next week sometime. And then it won't be live on YouTube until early in January. And that's purely, as I explained to him, because I schedule all my videos. I like to schedule all my videos to go live every Friday morning. Looking at it from a viewer's perspective, if I'm watching videos on YouTube, watching one video each week is enough for me, because there just aren't enough hours in the day for watching lots of other videos on YouTube. So there are some people that are uploading videos on YouTube 3 or 4 times a week, and there's just no way I can keep up with them, because I struggle to find enough hours in the day as it is. So looking at it from a viewer's perspective, that's why I like to make sure that even though I might sort of film several walks in one week and then they might be edited quite quickly, because I am a lot quicker now at doing the editing, I still like to spread them out weekly, because I think that's enough. It is enough for me anyway. So that's why all my videos are scheduled, and I said to Darren yesterday that I've still got, as of yesterday, 13 films which are scheduled to be published throughout the rest of 2025. So that's why yesterday's film, that won't be edited until obviously I get back to home next week, and then that won't be published until the new year. So that's just the way I like to do it, really. And it just puts less pressure on myself, because in the early days of my filmmaking, or certainly when I was editing stuff for YouTube, I used to put a lot of pressure on myself, because I would edit a film quite quickly, say, for argument's sake, and then I might put it onto YouTube straight away. But I don't like doing that. I don't like to put my film live as soon as I've edited it, for the reasons I've just explained, really. And then sometimes what I'd find, if I decided to have a break in filming, obviously there'll be several weeks or months even before people will see another film of mine, and then I get contacted by people saying, when's your next video? Which is lovely, but this is why I like to schedule them. So if I do decide to have a break from filming anytime soon, there will still be videos that will be published for the rest of 2025 and early 2026. So for me, it just works really well. After about 1.25 miles, I took a path leading into the village of Bleadon, where, ahead of me, stood the church of St. Peter and St. Paul. So I've arrived in the village of Bleadon now. First stop, the church. Yep, it's open. That's good. So I think hat off first, and in we go. Fantastic. Right, let's go and have a look. Lovely. Another fantastic church. And there's the organ. My favourite part of any church. Although I never play the church organs. It's not my place to, really, as much as I'd like to have a go. Okay. So, St. Peter's and St. Paul's Church, Bleadon. Fantastic. On with the walk we go then. Let's walk through Bleadon village. So that was Bleadon village, lovely. I mean, when I was living in the area, I did drive through Bleadon village quite a lot, but I think today is my first time I've actually passed through the village on foot. So there you go. But yeah, what a lovely little village. So I'm now climbing back up Bleadon Hill. I'm sort of to the west of where I was where I parked my car, but I'm going sort of straight on up, and then I'll be looping back to the car later. So hopefully I shall get some more views in a minute. Okay, so even though I am actually making my way back onto Bleadon Hill, this is Hellenge Hill. So I climb up Hellenge Hill and I'll be on the top of Bleadon Hill later. Just have a look at seeing what this sign says here first. Well, as with most of these information boards, there's rather a lot of information, so I won't read all of it, I'll just read the first bit. Forming part of the Mendip National Nature Reserve, Hellenge Hill provides a variety of habitats for local wildlife. It says here, people in the landscape. Human activities have strongly influenced the landscape around us, giving rise to the habitats and species that exist today. The extensive history of mining on the Mendips has sculpted the land, creating caves, quarries and uneven ground, known to the locals as gruffy ground, providing a specialised home to a variety of wildlife. Yeah. Okay, let's get on up Hellenge Hill then, and make my way back onto Bleadon Hill. This is beautiful. Okay, well from here, I don't know if you can see it from there, but I've got a clear view of Brean Down in the distance. Now I know I've said before that Brean Down is the official end of the Mendip Hills, or the official start of the Mendip Hills. That's debatable really. I mean technically the Mendip start at Uphill, because that's where the West Mendip Way long distance footpath starts and ends. But Brean Down is still a Mendip Hill, it's just separated from Uphill by the River Axe, so there's quite a wide separation there. So really, personally, I consider Brean Down to be the start and end of the Mendip Hills. Okay, onwards and upwards. Lovely views across the Bristol Channel now. Look at that. Yeah. A bit hazier than it was yesterday, but they are still lovely views. Okay, well, I am back on Bleadon Hill now. Okay, so Bleadon Hill then. So I'm back on the lane. So if I was to just walk up the lane that way, that'll take me to where my car's parked. I'm just going to go down this way for a short distance, because there should be a footpath along here on the right. And all being well, I should get some good views over Weston-super-Mare. Well, I'm not getting many views at the moment because you can just make out Weston-super-Mare through the trees, but the trees are in the way. I might hopefully get a few views later on if I'm lucky. But yeah, so I'm walking through Bleadon Hill Golf Course now. Starting to get a few views now. So we can see across the River Severn and Bristol Channel. Well, of course, I'm looking sort of between Weston and Clevedon there. You can see Clevedon to the right and Weston to the left. So that bit there will still be the River Severn. So the Bristol Channel is hidden behind the rest of Weston down that way. Yeah, so that's not a bad view at all, really. Beyond the golf course, the footpath headed into woodland on Hutton Hill, where I neared the end of today's walk. So this track is just about to emerge onto the lane. Oh yeah, I can see the lane ahead of me. So yeah, this is the lane just off where I'm parked. So just got to turn right here, and then I'm parked just on the top of Bleadon Hill up there. So not far at all now. So yeah, that was another lovely walk here in the lovely Mendip Hills. Unfortunately, even though I'm off this week and I'm staying at Mum's for the rest of the week, I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do another walk in the Mendips whilst I'm here, because today it looks like it's the last day of guaranteed good weather. I know I said earlier that we certainly need the rain, so that's fine, but I may not be able to get out again after today, so we'll see. But I should be keeping my eye out, so you never know. But even if I can't get out this week, I'll be back in the Mendip Hills another time, that's for sure.